point somewhere about profiting holistically and why that's important. So the question is, Alicia, how does one begin to do that, please?
Okay, great. Well, one begins to profit holistically when they see all of their life as prosperous. And holistic prosperity really encompasses the full alignment of one's total well-being in every area, and that's very important. And this would be considered to be like the epitome of optimum living, which includes your health, your finances, living your life according to your highest values, also your personal mastery, your soul's evolution, your spiritual connection to Source, God, universe, however others choose to see that for themselves, and also being very connected to your divine alignment with whether it's friends, family, or even your right ventures. So it's about the prosperity of your total well-being. And the reason why this is so important is because, unfortunately, Tony, our society or some of our upbringings or even religious teachings have taught these concepts really from a flawed perspective or with limited understanding. So many think of prosperity as being centered around money or having a certain type of lifestyle, and several feel that in order for them to be complete or to be whole, they need external components to sort of fill a void or give them a sense of worth. However, in order to truly prosper in life or to be profitable in what you do, you have to really vibrate the energy from a holistic prosperity vantage point. True prosperity is about wholeness, and this is what leads us to really getting real sustainable results in our lives. And this is how we win and we begin to profit in every area. So an example is if a person desires to prosper financially, which a lot of us, we want to, then their chief focus would not need to be on how can I make more money, but rather focus on what having the money would afford them to do, or how could it facilitate them in actually being more whole. You can only create lasting change with profit through wholeness. And this is truly important for entrepreneurs, especially to understand. This is great and valuable information for anyone, but again, primarily for entrepreneurs, if they're going to thrive instead of surviving, then they really need to embody holistic prosperity and see all of their life as being prosperous, and that will translate into their business.
I see. It's sort of like, from one way to say it, like the next step. It's not just wanting the money, going after the money as the goal. It's the next step. What am I going to do with that? What's the purpose? What's the reason?
That's right.
You're going
what is the reason?
There you go. And that brings money a lot closer, because money is really not the end goal. And actually, as we know from the School of Hard Knocks, just going after the money doesn't work and doesn't get you very much of it. There has to be that purpose, that reason for it.
Oh, I agree wholeheartedly. I agree wholeheartedly. And the thing, I'm so glad you said that, because another thing is that when people focus so much on money and they chase that and they work so hard for it, they'll do it at the expense of their health, at the expense of not spending time with loved ones. And within holistic prosperity, you really start to focus on what is most important, and then you use that to sort of be the fuel that drives you to want to have a life of total well-being, and then the money or the opportunities for resources will show up for you.
Yep, we hear all too often the story of the person who just went, pell-mell, just like a gun, just like right out of the gate, just going for money, did nothing but go for money to become a millionaire. And when he was done, he was a millionaire, but he lost his wife, he had bad health, lost friends, et cetera, et cetera. So that's not the way to go.
No,
all right, well,
absolutely not.
So let's bridge into the profits, and you mentioned about this earlier, I believe, in the Conscious Entrepreneur and the present moment, and you say that the present moment is vital for making profit. Why is that, Alicia?
It's very vital. The present moment, Tony, is where all of the power is. And people place a lot of energy on the past, or they're focusing on the future, their next levels, the next steps. However, the power is in the now, because the now, honestly, is really all that there is. And when we're distracted by the days gone by, or we're placing our energy or our focus in the future, then we miss out and we really forfeit the gifts and the insights and the opportunities that are available to us to prosper from. And within the present moment, we have to see it as a gift. That's why it's called the present. And at every phase of our journey, especially as it relates to being an entrepreneur, there is wisdom to be gained from every single experience, and we must begin to unwrap these experiences just like we're unwrapping a gift that has been given to us. And these experiences are meant to prepare us in the present for our now and our next levels of success. And often people get so focused, as I mentioned before, on the next levels, yet they haven't learned how to truly maximize the now, or the present moment, as we call it. And sometimes we only need just enough light for the step we're on. Sometimes people want to see the big picture, and it's good to set your goals and to have, a future framework. I definitely am a high advocate of setting goals, but you have to be in the present moment to understand what needs to take place, in order for that to happen. So focusing on your right now steps instead of the next 3 steps that you need to take, let's get present with the now step that you need to take. Because if you miss out on what the present moment is offering you, you're not going to be prepared for your next level. And I have a saying, Tony, that if you want to get paid, you better get present. Because this is where the power is. And go ahead, Tony. Did you want to say something?
Oh no, I was just chuckling and laughing. I like that. I'm loving it. Please.
Yeah, if you want to get paid, you better get present. So we really have to, as I mentioned before, focus on really just the step that you're on and take the guidance and use the awareness from there, and then do the next right best thing, and then sort of rinse and repeat that process. But we have to let every present moment sort of give birth to another present moment, and that's why it's really important. And as I mentioned before, if we don't learn what we're supposed to get in the present moment, then we won't be able to execute with excellence when opportunities come. So even when you're in the bleakest time of your life, or you're in a dark night of the soul, those experiences or those pitfalls are there for us to grow and for us to learn. But we have to learn to become present, because that, I believe, and I have experienced this is where our truest treasures really lie. This is where we begin to really extract the diamonds, or the gold, if you will, or a golden idea comes to us. And then it helps us to be able to catapult our success in a way like never before. So even with being present, we have to also learn how to be present in our pain, so that we can produce or birth the greatest things ever. And this is why it's really important to be present, so that you can understand what it is that you're going to need to do for the now and for your next level.
Wow, so cool. And I must comment, I love your statement when you said at the beginning of this little question answer, you said, now is all there is.
Mm-hmm. Now is all there is.
When you think about that, it's like now. That's it. That's what you have. Of course, you have a future that you want to go toward, but you can only get there by going through now.
Right. And for the future is only a next now.
It just hit me in a unique way. And of course, there's more to it on a spiritual basis and that. But here on Earth, let's say, we have to get through the now. It just means
that's right.